Brahmin, come on. Since many Asians travel here, there's an instruction in English but also in Chinese and Korean to explain how to use the toilet, how to sit, because they are used to squat toilets. So they need instructions on how to sit on a toilet properly, especially so they don't stand on top of the toilet and break it. Ah, cool. Instead of one, we have two royals. Royals, how are you doing? Good morning, 6:30 in the morning in Phnom Penh, the capital of Cambodia, because at 7 in the morning, the train to Sihanoukville in the south of this country will depart from here, from the train station in Cambodia. And we're going to take it. Look at how beautiful the surroundings of the central station are. What an amazing square there is in front, huge buildings, and there's a pagoda in the center of the square. No, it's beautiful. Here we can see the schedules on the side of the station. Out of the only two train services that Cambodia has, one is from Phnom Penh to Battambang, which we're going to take soon. It leaves at 6:40 in a little while. And the one from Phnom Penh to Sihanoukville, which is the one we're going to take. It leaves 20 minutes later at 7 in the morning. We can see that the station has been renovated. It's a building from 1932 built by the French, who were the ones that developed the railway in Cambodia when this was a French protectorate, part of Indochina. We can see that here at its entrance, there's an ultra-modern bar. It's really modern, but it seems kind of touristy to me. The cheapest coffee is $2.20. I said, no, I'll hold off on having coffee. I'll go somewhere else and there will be coffee. And if not, oh well, the guy is sending me over there. We're going to go onto the platform now because in a few minutes we'll be leaving. I guess there will be a dining car and that's where I'll have my morning coffee, my breakfast. Here we can see next to the station that there's an old steam engine on display. It's beautiful, not just one, there are two. There's another one over there. Look. There, you can't miss the Cambodian railway dogs. This girl, hello, welcome to the station, and we're going to enter the platforms. I just heard the horn in the background of the train that's leaving at 6:40 for Battambang. That's not ours. Hey, the platform is really nice. Look, the train to Battambang just left, and I guess this train will be ours. I searched YouTube for videos of this train and found very few. There isn't any YouTuber or content creator who has made a video about it. They're all just people who did it as a hobby, so to speak. We can see that the track has a metric gauge. There's 1 meter of distance between rail and rail. It's one of the narrowest gauges there is. It's not a Decauville, which is 600 millimeters, nor is it a Trochita, like the one we have in the south, which is 500. But among the current long-distance trains, it's one of the narrowest there is. Let's note that the rolling stock is a simple diesel multiple unit without a locomotive, and it's diesel. Here we have the cab, the control one in front, and boarding is done over here. We're going to board through this door, just one door, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 cars in total. The train is small, and I thought this one here was the dining car, but it doesn't say passenger train. But look at the windows, they're much nicer than the others. I hope I got a seat here. I didn't know there was one like this. Let's hope so. Are they traveling with a dog or getting off because of the dog? What's happening? Hello.
Hello, sir. Please, you can sit anywhere.
But first of all, the service. When you get on, it's amazing. They greet you with respect, and there's also someone who helps you carry your heavy suitcases. Well, I got this car, which is actually kind of meh. I mean, the windows are so-so, but hey, it is what it is. Let's see if I hurry up and get all the way to the front so I can film the train from the very front. This is the most crucial moment. You don't know which side to sit on, front, back, left, or right. I'll sit here for a better view of the station's exit. With a train parked over there, we'll see it more clearly from here. The glass isn't exactly clean, but at least we have a view to the front for now. Before we leave, I'll show you what the amenities are like, the comforts of this pop tray train. There's a spot to put your stuff and the seat reclines comfortably. We're going to have a 6.5-hour trip. We'll leave at 7 and arrive in Sihanoukville at 1:30. Look at the seats. They have a pedal there. That pedal lets you turn the seats so everyone can face the same direction. Unlike in Argentina where you can go any direction and might end up facing backwards. It used to take 30 hours to get to Tucuman, but they canceled the service. They should restore service to Tucuman and Cordoba. We have a place here to put our luggage, and we see that it's written in Chinese. These are Chinese units, right? I'll find out about that. Here we have the motorman. Yes, he's the motorman, it seems. You can see on the uniforms that we're traveling on the Royal Railway, a Cambodian company. I'll tell you the story later while we're on the trip. There we see a price list, and we can see that coffee is cheaper than if we had bought it there at the station, 1.50. They'll probably bring it to you here since I don't see a dining car. It's 7:04 and we're leaving Phnom Penh station 4 minutes late. There was a gentleman from Egypt sitting next to the IGC. 2 seats were taken there, huh? Can you go alone? And he left, so well, we have both seats here. This trip is going to be about 260 kilometers from the Cambodian capital to Sihanoukville, which is a southern coast, and the ticket cost me $12. I falsely assumed this was a local service where only Cambodians traveled. But no, most of us are foreigners. I prefer that connection with the locals and everything, but in this case, it's purely foreigners. Very few locals. Wow, there are lots of little houses next to the tracks. It looks like the entrance to Rosario Sur. Does that happen here? The same paradox we have in Retiro in Buenos Aires is that you come out of the train station. There's a really popular neighborhood right next to the tracks, and beside it, ultra-modern buildings. It's impressive, that social contrast and how settlements form right next to the train tracks. We have air conditioning, and that's an advantage, but at the same time, it's a disadvantage because we can't open the window to get better shots. But well, in this case, I'd rather lose some cooling quality and have better image quality. You can't ask for it here. One of the waitresses came to ask for the ticket. Thank you. A picture?
Yes.
Thank you. They took a picture of me, not because they recognized me from the channel or anything like that, but because they take pictures of all the passengers. Why? I don't know. To keep track of who's traveling. Let's go check out the rest of the train. Take a look. How do you open this since you're there? In this car, there are more Cambodians and fewer tourists, and it's emptier. It seems like most foreigners are sent to the other car. Let's check out what's up with the 4 cars on this train. The Papa, let's see this one. This is the very important person. No, this one is amazing. Let's check it out. Look at the seat. There wasn't one like this in first class, or I would have gotten it since it's so cheap. Look, you have a tray. Let's check the size and the recline. No, this car is spectacular. What luxury. Everything is written in Japanese. I guess the rolling stock must be of Japanese origin. And if I don't find out in the rest of the video, I'll be waiting for your comments to know where it's from. But most likely, it's a Japanese diesel multiple unit. Man, this is the kind of place where you can travel peacefully like this gentleman here. All of us train geeks are here. Basically, we've snuck into the driver's cab on the other side over there. Let's go quickly. The man filming gave me the advice. Let's see, if you live in Criolla, no, I think he's actually from another country. It says there that the maximum allowed speed is 120 km/h, but we're going at 5 km/h walking pace. Here we have the whole schedule for tracks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 stations until we reach Sihanoukville. Here we understand why they photograph you. Are you used for advertising? And now comes the moment everyone has been waiting for. Yes, the bathroom on the PDL train in first class. First, airplane-style bathroom. Here is the toilet, soap, the sink is very low. Wow, the water pressure is impressive considering it's a train. We have disinfectant. Someone is trying to open the door. No, I'm filming. Deodorant. Here is toilet paper. There are covers and also soap. Well, there's everything. Honestly, it's very complete. Let's go in to check out the bathroom in the lowest class. Oh no, it's the same as the other one, the same layout. I noticed you can adjust the temperature either in the bathroom or throughout the whole train. It's odd that the temperature control is in the bathroom and that I could adjust the whole train's temperature from there. From inside there, look, since many Asians travel, There's an instruction in English, but also in Chinese and Korean to explain how to use the toilet, how to sit, because they are used to squat toilets. So they need instructions on how to sit on a toilet properly, especially so they don't stand on top of the toilet and break it. There is a formation coming from the front apparently, but it seems like they're calling it dangerous now. There's a formation in front, and I don't see a possible detour. How do we solve this? Will we detour properly? Yes, there it goes. There's the track. It diverted right here. There's a locomotive from an empty freight train waiting to be loaded. It's full of containers over there on the other side. Now we can't get back on the track. The freight train is blocking us. We have to wait for the freight train to connect with the other part and move forward. Then we can pass. And look at all this. The people waiting there to cross the barrier are going to be stuck for quite a while. The barrier is lowered with a rope. It has a rope at the end and a gatekeeper, and he lowers it like this and raises it like this, the old-fashioned way. It took much less time than I thought. Was it 2 minutes, 3 minutes? You might be wondering, Topo, are there places to charge devices on the train? I only see one place over there, that one, but there's this man there who is train staff. I think he's there and looks angry. Are you working? The greatest pleasure. I feel kind of bad bothering him to see if the outlet works. I don't see any here. Look, notice that in this car there is a 220 volt outlet. So later I'll come back with my devices to see if they actually charge. Look, look, look. The gentleman is getting off here. He's going to switch the track over there. Look, he's going to the lever, switching the track. Not sure if you can see, but he's switching the track over there. He gave the order there, switch the track, because up ahead there's another track, supposedly for the freight locomotive. We pass, the man stays here, and supposedly he's going to get on at the back. How crazy things are on Argentine trains. It surprised me because the flagmen did that. They got off, stopped the traffic at the level crossing so it wouldn't pass, and then got back on at the back. But here there's a person who gets off to switch the tracks, and we keep moving forward. Now supposedly we're going to have to wait for the freight train to pass us because we're on the second track, the waiting one. The one that just passed us is a fuel freight train. It has those giant tanks. If this one derails, we're all in trouble. There, we can see how the man got on after switching the track, the other crew member. We have the cafeteria here. Let's have breakfast. Right now I see that they're selling instant noodles there, but having those noodles in the morning, all gassy. Look, they have Chinese Coca-Cola as well as Cambodian Coca-Cola. I quit drinking it, but I'm really craving it. Then we have energy drinks that are in Japanese. They're Japanese, and another energy drink as well. It looks like this is a train that leaves in the morning and they need star power. This too, another energy drink, and here another energy drink. No, hello, do you want hot coffee, please? No, it's not hot, just insulated coffee. Okay, I want an insulated coffee. Card, but you can pay with the QR code. That's the way to pay here with QR. Is it the Documento Nacional de Identidad account, Mercado Pago, or Modo? The pigs from Cambodia, they don't have hot coffee, only cold coffee. Argentina. Argentina, how much is it?
7,000 riyal.
$1.75, 7,000 reals. It's crazy to pay with the currency, which is reals on top of reals on a train. Well, here we have the cold coffee. They didn't have hot coffee, just cold coffee this morning on the Cambodian trains. And I'm going to sit here in this first class seat, which is completely empty. They don't check your ticket anymore, nothing. They always give you coffee here in a bag. Why? I don't know. There's no reason. The amount of plastic they use is impressive. Let's see how it is. Where the heck do you put it? There it goes. It could go wrong. The coffee here, especially iced, is amazing in both Cambodia and Vietnam. And I usually prefer hot coffee, especially with air conditioning, making it perfect for a hot drink. But anyway, let's have the famous, and why not, also highly praised Frappuccino. And while we enjoy this coffee, I'm going to tell you a bit about the history of this train. You might be wondering, Topo, what's up? Who does it belong to? Well, let's take it step by step. 1963. We know that France established a protectorate in Cambodia, and this territory became part of French Indochina. Therefore, in 1890, they developed a small stretch of railway between a city called Long Crop and another called Sihanoukville, but it was a very short section. 11 kilometers that they built with a Decauville. The Decauville is a narrow gauge train with a 600 millimeter track, just like the one we saw in Cameroon, which had also been developed by the French at that time. The first developments were done with Decauville, which were much more economical and mainly used in their colonies and protectorates. But they developed the first line. In 1932, they inaugurated the Phnom Penh train station, and the line reached Phnom Penh, the border with Thailand. All of this was under the company Royal Cambodian Railway as we know it today, and even in 1942 the train managed to connect Cambodia with Thailand. But that lasted until 1946 because there were a series of conflicts that caused that service to stop operating. This route that we're taking, which goes from Phnom Penh to Sihanoukville, was only developed in 1969. Keep in mind that the service from Phnom Penh to Phnom Penh goes to the north of Cambodia, while the one we're taking now goes to the south. But at that time, in 1969, Cambodia was no longer a French colony. However, with funding from France, Germany, and the United Kingdom, they developed this service. Why? You might be wondering why, because in 1969 we were in the context of the Vietnam War and therefore the port of Saigon was out of service. And since Sihanoukville is a coastal city, they developed the port there, and as a result this railway to transport goods from Cambodia's capital to the port. And even though Cambodia went through a series of total disasters in its social, political, and economic organization, this service operated until 2002. Imagine the condition of the tracks, the lack of punctuality, it would even derail all the time. But in 2016, the Asian Development Bank and the Australian Agency for International Development, together with the company Toll Holding, which is also Australian, restored the service between Phnom Penh and Sihanoukville, the one we're taking now. They even rehabilitated the 641 kilometers of railway tracks that Cambodia currently has, and in 2019 the Phnom Penh service also started operating. Up to Poi Phet, which is the one we're going to take in the next few days. You'll see it in the upcoming videos on the channel. I hope that nowadays it doesn't reach Poi Phet because it's the border with Thailand. The situation between Cambodia and Thailand changes quite a bit, and it goes all the way to Battambang, and from there we're going to take the train to Iwambu. So stay tuned for the upcoming videos. And as we saw, there are many houses close to the tracks. And that's because when the train stopped running, many people built not only next to the tracks, but also right on top of the train tracks. And they had to evict a lot of people. It's estimated that around 1,500 homes had to be vacated in order to restore the service. And you might ask me, Topo, is the Royal Cambodian Railways Company public or private? It's a private company whose majority shareholder since 2022 is Kit Meng, a Chinese Cambodian businessman. Next time I have to bring Javi Ledesma with me so he can sit here and tell the whole story of the railway companies we're traveling with. That's it. I settled into this first class, which I think is actually the same. Like when you get on the train, they tell you go over there and sit wherever you want, but it's like they assign you wherever they feel like. And so they don't kick me out. I'm not leaving this spot. Look, I just discovered that I have a little light there that I can turn on for reading, but, well, the train goes during the day. Look what I just found out. Here on the armrest, there's an outlet to plug devices into 220 volts. Let's see if it works. Yes, it's charging. Awesome, we're saved, and I only brought my fanny pack because I'm making the trip during the day. I should have just brought my computer and I could have worked here, but oh well, it's time to enjoy it. Otherwise, I'd be too focused on narrating the scenery instead of just enjoying it. It's good to relax and live in the moment. And instead of editing, actually enjoy the trip. On the train, I can see that the cruising speed we're going at is about 55 kilometers per hour, which is roughly 5 minutes per kilometer. I don't think we'll go any faster than this. The tracks don't seem well maintained, yet earlier we saw the train reach 120 kilometers per hour. We'll cover about 260 kilometers in around 7.5 hours. It's fine. We have many stops for other trains, freight trains, and so on. We also stop at stations, but the speed isn't that impressive either. Think about it. If we were going at 100 kilometers per hour, we would cover this distance in 2.5 hours. Will take about as long as we did with Gabi Schreiber from Chascomús to Zárate last time. Well, we took longer that time because we kept getting delayed, but if we had done it in normal time, it should have taken about 7 or 8 hours. It's almost the same number of kilometers. I just noticed a detail that I hadn't realized before. The little cup has a drawing of a train on it. It says train coffee. I want to take it with me. It's probably going to get ruined, but it's beautiful. We just passed by a huge Buddhist temple in the middle of the countryside. It's really crazy because Cambodia has a very intense rural life, especially because during Pol Pot's regime, they took all the people from the city to live in the countryside. Living in the city was banned as it was seen as bourgeois. In recent years, few have returned from the countryside. In fact, it's quite an agricultural country. Even though there are industries and everything, it still remains that way. 18 million people live in rural areas in Cambodia, and 2.5 million live in the capital. The rest are spread out among the towns. That place we passed by with all the pagodas, I assume it could be a cemetery.
We already passed the train, 5 more minutes, and we'll arrive at Takao Station. Thank you.
We've arrived at the first station. It's 9:15 an hour and 45 minutes of travel. It's called Takao Station, and we can stay here for 5 minutes. There are street vendors offering food and drinks. A beautiful railway dog. Look, they sell pineapple fruit here, different cut fruits now we're going to buy. They sell something like wrapped snacks there. Hello, another railway dog. Do you have green eyes? Wow, they sell a lot corn too. Well, let's buy some fruit and contribute to the local economy of this station. How much?
5,000 reals.
$1.25 for the bag of fruit. Here you go. Ah, thank you. Unfortunately, I don't remember how to say thank you in Cambodian. I didn't adapt to the language. There, the motorman also got off to buy nails, coffee, and food. It's fascinating that there are so many of us documenting this journey. I was just talking with a friend and he told me, dude, you are the eyes of a lot of people. We love the railroad and we can't travel to these places, and you show them to us. And that also happened to me once when I had my show at the theater, which I take the opportunity to tell you that you can see me in Cordoba on May 16th. And the lady told me, thank you because you take me on trips to places I might never be able to go in my life. And that's really powerful every time I film. It's my responsibility to try to document everything in the best way possible so that you can see it and travel with me by my side. So I don't want to get distracted for even a second. I say, man, I have to show you this, and it really makes me feel very committed. We could really say that because a lot of people who don't have the chance to travel through me. I wish they could travel too. I think there are a lot of people who get encouraged to start traveling or even travel alone, all thanks to the motivation my videos give them, especially to places that aren't very touristy or developed and that are off the map or off most people's guides. Here we have a Cambodian man and a Cambodian woman. Is this your first time traveling by train? Do you like it? Yes? So are you visiting your own country? Yes, the train is amazing. Yes, it's good. Thank you. Let's go. We're leaving. Imagine if I got stranded here in this town, we'd be in trouble. Well, another train comes by tomorrow at the latest, or if not, there's this one going back to Phnom Penh. I just bought this fruit here, all peeled, which I guess is mango, judging by the appearance. One of my favorite fruits, mango, and it comes with this spicy salt. But from what I read, it has fish in it, and not only fish, it's probably shrimp, which I can't eat. Not just because I'm a vegetarian, but also because it's not kosher. So it's a double no-go. We won't be able to spread it. We'll toss it, move it aside, but we'll enjoy the mango, which is amazing. It needs to ripen a bit more, just like me, but it's edible just like I am. The landscape started to become enchanting. A spectacular mountain, truly a high experience, highly recommended. And this train isn't listed in any guidebook, nothing, pure research by Topo. So if you have the chance to travel to Cambodia, it's highly recommended. I'm saying it now, there are still a few hours left in the trip, but even now we already recommend it. Second stop. Theoretically, you're not supposed to get off. People are getting on, but I made a quick stop there. At KEP station, a lot of people got on here, many foreigners. I wonder what there is in KEP that attracts so many foreigners. I don't know. We have a girl here. Actually, her boyfriend and she, who are traveling on the train, are Cambodians. Is this your first time traveling by train?
Yes, it's my first time.
Why haven't you traveled by train before? Actually,
I would like to experience the train, and I also love the view here, yes.
but I think it's much better than going by bus.
Actually, the bus is faster than the train, but the view isn't as good as on the train.
And also the train is much more comfortable.
Yes, it's more comfortable and it's very refreshing.
Do you expect to travel by train more often after this?
Of course, from now on, the train is the first option if you want to experience the journey.
And it's amazing because there are more foreigners using the train than Cambodians. I think it's not very popular with Cambodians. It's more popular with foreigners, with tourists.
Cambodians don't want to spend much time on it. I recommend it.
Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the trip. Yes.
You too, I hope that
You enjoyed the
trip, and I also hope that you love the truck.
I love Khmer. It's a very difficult language for me, but how do you say thank you? Akun, akun, akun.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, let's see if we remember it. It's really hard for me to remember Khmer. Look, here's the price list. And for $5, you can take a bicycle, for 10 a small motorcycle, for 15 a medium motorcycle, and for 20 a large motorcycle. With so many motorcycles here, it's a great deal. Arriving at Kampot station, a lot of people are about to get on here, and also a lot of people are getting off the train, the vast majority of them foreigners. The French people who were on the train, the photographers and the other person who was with them told me that they came here because there's a big pepper and fish market, so that's why they came to this city. There's a bunch of people ready to get on the train that comes from Kampot and goes to Sihanoukville. The car filled up, so you have to take advantage and get back to your seat as soon as possible. We just left the Kampot train station, which has a very unique architecture, a very curious design, and I was surprised by the number of people who got off and got on. I didn't know it was a tourist city in Cambodia. This is the first time in your life that you are taking the train.
I want to know how to get experience on the train.
Thank you. Yeah, I just went for a walk around the train and you see people carrying bags of vegetables. The only thing missing is for them to bring chickens on board. And we're full, which wouldn't surprise me at all. That has happened to me on trains in Cuba, for example. Man, we just passed by a huge coal-powered electricity plant, a tall building. It has 405 megawatts of power. I just looked it up. It's the Sihanoukville power plant. It's the one that's going to provide all the electricity for this town, I think, and for another area by the sea. And it's a Chinese company. The Chinese flag is flying there. You can even see some houses next to it where the Chinese workers who work there must live.
And living there means it's a place to live.
Just as they announced, in 5 minutes we will be arriving at Sihanouk station. You can see the sea as we approach this coastal seaside resort city that we are going to visit. Sihanouk is the last name of the previous king, the father of the current king, and the city has had this name since 1958 when the first people, the king, came with all the commotion. Here this king appears, then comes a dictatorship, then another dictatorship, and then a whole mess follows. This king rules again, and since 2004 his son has been in power. But he was like the key king during Cambodia's democratic transition, and that's why this town has the name of this king. And according to what I read, about 90,000 people live here supposedly. And it's quite unique because it's full of casinos and Chinese people, and there's a beach, everything that's good. It's 13:21. After a little more than 6 hours of travel, we've arrived in Sihanoukville. Here is its station. An amazing trip on this train, incredible, super comfortable, beautiful landscapes. Honestly, an experience I highly recommend. If you come to Cambodia, if you're lucky enough to visit this country, I highly recommend taking this trip. Here we have with us a locomotive that's used for freight trains. This one is from Chavina, Southway Railroad. These are rolling stock works, and the maximum speed it reaches is 100 km/h. That's crazy. I can't believe I'm here at Sihanoukville station in Cambodia and that I came by train. The station is really basic, pretty wild with these bars. It's so ugly that it's actually nice, isn't that right? It's strange and very open air, very old, very much like a station built by the French in their colonies, Cameroon style. He erased it. Where did he erase it from? And I'm using Grab to get around. The Cambodian Uber is also used in Vietnam. And can you order a tuk-tuk? A guy offered me $50 to go to the most recommended beach, which is Otres Beach, about 10 kilometers from the station. And the guy, he wanted to charge me 50 right from the start. And here it shows me 1750 reals, which divided by 4 is less than $5. All right, here it comes. 1 in 3 minutes, Chea Chanti, just in case. They have license plates, they're legal, they have licenses. Look, there's the plate for each one. In fact, I even get the plate for mine too. What are you doing here? Theaters? Oh damn, just go ahead, maestro. I love that it has a fixed Environmental Protection Agency rate, all tuned up. It has a fan, a little door down here. We're going just how we want. He's taking it over 30 per hour. Nice there, man. I really want to drive it myself. This tuk-tuk is awesome now, going right down the middle of the street like any other car. I'd drive it everywhere. Cambodia. In tuk-tuk we did train and tuk-tuk, the best possible combination. No regular cars on this trip. Ah, the guy is driving barefoot already. A genius. I got together exactly the 17,500, so he won't have any trouble with the change. And here we've arrived at Otres Beach, one of the beaches in Cambodia. White sand, ocean over there, mountains in the background, people spending the day at the beach. You can see that you rent the chairs from these kids who sell food, skewers, and that's what a Cambodian beach is like. It might be one of the best, I think, but I can't complain. Calm, tropical weather. We are right in the middle of the South China Sea. I'm holding my sneakers in my hand. This was the time to come in flip-flops, but I came in sneakers. That was a bad move, and on top of that, I don't have a backpack. I could leave my sneakers with someone, and I don't mind if they wear them since they've already paid for themselves. The real issue is how I'll get back later. Oh no, look at that lady over there giving massages. There are foreigners on this beach too. And look at that huge city over there. It's calmer here, but look at how massive Sihanoukville is. It's under construction. Later, we'll get closer over there. Worst case, I'll take a tuk-tuk. They're so cheap. Grab, grab, grab. I'm going to the center. I got the same one. I just ordered a tuk-tuk again to go to downtown Sihanoukville. This beach was recommended, but it's just a beach. I want to check out downtown instead. And I came barefoot because I'm covered in sand. I'm going to get some of it off, let my feet dry, and then I'll put my shoes back on. Everyone here is barefoot, so it's fine. This is downtown Sihanoukville. It's amazing. Look at all the buildings, the hotels. They're all Chinese. The Chinese come here for vacation. It's impressive. In fact, there are places you pass by where absolutely everything is written in Chinese, not even in Cambodian. This hotel, for example, is the Blue Bay by Howard Johnson, and it's $148 a night, which is expensive. But for such a hotel, which even has a sea view on the other side, I don't think it's expensive. Ah, no worries. Instead of one, we have 2 royals. Relax. You could say this is the Miami of Cambodia, right? In this city, the casinos, why you might ask, because their main customers are the Chinese. What's happening in mainland China? Is gambling forbidden? So they have an option. Either they go to the special administrative region of China, which is Macau, or they come to a nearby place like Cambodia, and specifically to this beach. And here they can place big bets. The Chinese love gambling. If you go to the Puerto Madero casino, for example, it's full of Chinese people, no matter what time it is. I tried to enter one of the casinos, but if they see you with a camera, they say, no, you can't come in. I'm going to try to film with my phone and see if I can. but there are metal detectors to get in, flyers, and a lot of military personnel in the area. You can tell there are a lot of big shots around here. Well, I'm a big guy, but not a big shot. This is my lunch at a supermarket, the cheapest option, $7. Here, she's going to make me a stir fry with noodles that I asked for a vegetarian. She's Chinese from Hebei province. These are rice noodles. She adds seaweed leaves, nabu, and I think maybe a bit of tofu as well. I paid for the drink in dollars, 80 cents, and I paid with dollars and got change, reals. What's the best way to exchange money? Hui taula, she's asking me if I want it spicy. I tell her just a little bit spicy, but a little bit is actually very spicy, but I can handle it. Here comes the spicy one. Hui taula, hui taula, hui taula, hui taula, hui taula, hui taula.
hablar chino acá. 你会说英文吗？不会，所以如果我不会说中文，我们不能聊天啊。你会说那个Cambodia语言啊？
Hui taula, hui taula, hui taula, hui taula, hui taula, hui taula, hui taula.
感谢啊。对
Delicious spicy ones accepted hui taula. Well, now let's try it. I'm taking off my glasses because they get all fogged up from the steam. It's like going back to China, huh? Spicy. I love this path by the beach. It's beautiful. Look, we have the sea over there, the luxury hotels here, the palm trees that shade us from the sun, pure beauty. Here, I'll sit down. Like wave, normal, massive, bro. I'm in the 5 am club, but I'm one of those who goes to sleep at 5 am. And straight from the very South China Sea in the city of Sihanoukville with full Cambodian luxury. And after having traveled on its train to get here, I'm going to say goodbye to this episode of A Mole Around the World. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.